Welcome to the Coastal Boys. We're back in action. Welcome, Andrew.
Thanks, Hilt. Good afternoon, everyone. Hope you're all well.
Right.
Interesting Kenilworth card.
Yeah, well, we're kicking off. Let's go straight into it. Race 1 is the Kenilworth Welcomes You Maiden Juvenile Plank, 1,200 meters. Betting supplied by our good friend Michael, where you get an early strike, and he's not scared. They're betting number 6, the Cullinan, 16 to 10. Number 9, Godric Gryffindor, 16 to 10. 5 to 1, Royal Light, and 7 to 1 and bigger, the rest from number 1, Another Hero. Another Hero 7s and 10s and bigger from Fair Fate onwards. So, yeah, getting straight into the race, Andrew. I'm quite strong on this horse, Godric Gryffindor. I think in this sort of lineup, obviously there's the unraced contingents, but I think he's got the form in the book. Good stable, only beaten 5 lengths first time out to a decent horse, Champagne Castle, then by a very good horse, St. Harry. Richard Fourie booked for the ride. So for me, that's the one to beat. I looked at the form of this horse, the Cullinan. Yes, I know there's the improvement factor, but if you look where the winner earned the weekend came from, albeit fairly impressive. I mean, the rest were treading water. This horse had no right to win and still won. So you got to question the form, the strength of that field. So based on that, I would say Godric Gryffindor, the one to beat, and quite hard to beat.
Well, I'm taking you on in this race. I thought there was a bit more meat to the bone. Having a look at the trainers' comments, the only one that's really fancy from the unraced horses would be number 3, Spinnaker. The rest, they seem to be making excuses, might need the run, might need further. So it doesn't get to be one of the first timers that's going to trouble the horses that have raced. I like a horse here, which I'll be backing each way, which I'll put up as one of my each way, is number 1, Another Hero. Greg Enyon, corner offer, who rides quite a lot for them, who's now got the stable job for the Ricks Yard, drawn 1. I heard a whisper on debut, got slow away, inconvenienced in the race, and still managed to finish 4th behind Magma Flow. I think that's a decent sort, and for me, I would be having a decent strike each way on Another Hero. And nothing wrong with Godric Gryffindor, but I know he ran behind St. Harry and was disappointed. And St. Harry for me has been a bit disappointing since then. So I'd like to see more from Godric Gryffindor before I could put my head down. The Cullen will be running on late with Craig Zaki on board, but for me, I'd be having a strike each way on Another Hero, number 1, with Pierre Corneille for on board.
Okay. Thanks for that, Andrew. Moving on to race 2. Right, we have a bet with a tote, open maiden, over 1,200 meters. Betting is as follows from soccershop.bet. They're betting 2 to 1 Vericat, 3 to 1 Eugenius, 4 to 1 Lava Strike, and 8 to 1 the Muffin Man, 10 to 1 and bigger the rest.
You were run. I didn't know you were.
Sorry?
I didn't know you were running in the race. Number 2.
The Muffin Man. Yeah.
No, number 2.
The Eugenius. Yeah, thanks, man. My teachers told me I was special at school as well.
That was what they used. Those were the terms they used. You are special.
Yeah.
Again, quite a few first timers in the race. The Nell Yard have got 2 well-bred runners, but there doesn't seem to be any money for any of them just yet. I wasn't sold on Eugenius, and that's second favourite. I see there's been a touch of money for the Richard Fourie ride, which I thought was quite interesting. Richard chose to ride this horse, number 11, Lava Strike. They had never ridden it before for the Pitchstone Yard. I mean, 4th on debut, and 7th in his second start. Always been double-figure prices. It's quite interesting that he's chosen to ride number 11, Lava Strike. I thought he might have better choices, but maybe he knows something that we don't. I think the favourite, the Vericat, Justin Snaith, got it on board, will be hard to beat. And second run gelding, if none of the first timers come to the party, I think he will be a solid choice of mine in the second race. The Very Cat number 12, ridden by Godwin.
Yeah, well, I think we'll know our fate very soon there, because that same form line of in the weekend, which I referred to in the first race, is popping up again there. So I'm going to take you on with that. So, well, not take you on. I'm going to be against you on that. I've got my question mark on how strong that form line is, but I might have egg on my face, which won't be the first time. But I think it's a very tricky race, and I would probably lean towards. I think the blinkers will improve this horse, Eugenius. So probably the one to beat, but like you say, a difficult race. My lurker each way would be this horse, the Muffin Man, to improve.
Okay, I mean, Eugenius had a few starts. I mean, it's only one
Yeah, I agree.
from 4 runs at the track. You know, I think that'll blow in the betting. I did think there'd be money for one of the first timers, but at this stage, they seem ice cold. So for me, I think
Yeah.
Very Cat the one to beat. I'll forgive it its run against St. Harry. There was an issue with that. Since gelding, he's run a cracker behind her in the weekend, finished nicely, and I think with natural improvement would be the one to beat.
Moving on to race 3. It's the Racecourse Incentives, powered by Hollywood Bets, a B stakes over 1,600 meters. Betting supplied by soccershop.bet. Boogie Fired is 5-2, 7-2 Katsu, 7-2 Major Master, and 7-2 Song to the Moon. 4-1 It's My Time. I might as well read the other two. There's only 2 other runners. Pay the Palace, 8-1, and 20's Prometea. So shall I take it away, Andrew?
Kick on, Hilt.
Hello?
Kick
Yeah,
on, Hilt.
sorry, there was an interruption there. Yeah, so Andrew, looking at this race over a mile, I mean, this looks a hell of a tricky race. I mean, I'll be the first to give whoever can find the winner here a shake his or her hand. Very, very tricky. I think this was Major Masters, Scopy individual. I think it's actually a little bit better than what the form would suggest. I mean, I know it's he's run to good horses, regulation. I thought he would have actually won more than 2 races by now. Major Masters quite decent, so this would be my tentative choice in a very, very difficult race. I'll have to leave it to you, the guru here, to shed some light on this, because I'm in the dark here. This is like walking up a mountain with no lights. I don't know, at night.
At least it's probably easier walking up a mountain than down a mountain with no lights. Again, I think this is I think it's probably a good race. I think decent sorts. And yes. I think a couple of these have been waiting for the sting out of the ground, which they seem to have had all over the country. I think it's going to be about the pace. And I think it's My Time, the one you like, will lead. Also, hopefully they don't go the Cape Crawl and set a decent pace, because I think the race will be set up for the closers. I know Boogie Field also likes to race handy. Craig Zaki on board, drawn 2, so he'll get a posse straight away. He'll be probably sitting second in the box seat or third. But I think it'll be between the closers. My first pick in the race would be number 1, Katsu. I think Katsu and the one I think probably the best horse in the race, Major Master, will be closing. I think Major Master might need further. I mean, there's a cracking run behind Chasing the Rainbow. And I think, as I said, there'll be plenty of speed in the race. Hopefully they don't slow it up front. And I think Katsu and Major Master will be closing. We can't forget to mention Boogie Field with Craig Zaki on board has won on him before. But I think I would be having a bet on number 1, Katsu. I think the yard has turned the corner. They are doing very well, and I like the profile of this horse. As long as they go a pace, I'll know my fate early.
Yeah, sorry, just to correct myself here, Andrew, sorry, I said Major Master is a 2-time winner. I see he's a 4-time winner. So I got it wrong there. But yeah, he's a decent horse.
Yeah, I mean, if you look in the wet column, in the publications, there's a few of them that do like the sting out of the ground. I mean, Boogerfield, for mention, has only missed a place once in the wet. So I do like
Okay,
Katsu. I think it'll be
so
closing, and that's for me.
perfect. Thanks, Andrew. So moving on to race 4, the Lucky Fish Magic Mile Open Maiden. Again, we've got another open maiden to test us, 1,600 meters. From Soccer Shop. Let me just get to the betting. Number 4, Spanish Verse, 5-2. Number 5, Zagreb, 3-1. Auburn King, 3-1. Big Deal, 4-1. Frequent Traveler, 10-1. And they're betting 14s bigger the rest. So you want to take it away, Andrew?
A trappy race, Hilton. I wasn't a fan of the favourite Spanish Verse. Out of the top lot, I thought Zagreb would have a chance. I thought not a race I want to get too involved in. I think it was number 5 Zagreb and Bourbon King with Craig Zaki on board. Those would be my two in a tough race. I couldn't find an outsider. I couldn't find a roughie. I looked and I kept on looking. As I said, the negative for me, I didn't like Spanish Verse, even though it's coming off 2 seconds, and it does look like he has a profile. He's carrying 60. I thought Zagreb ran a decent race behind Superbike King last start, running on again. And the other one, I thought with Craig Zaki on board, interesting booking, with the blinkers applied, drawn 11, the only slight negative would be number 11 Bourbon King. Those would be my two against the field.
Yes, agreed. I also fancy the 11 a bit with the blinkers on. I think the horse to beat, I respect the horse Zagreb going the ground, and Ricky Mangard Stables red hot. So that looks like the improver, but I know he's had a few chances, so you would have expected him to win by now. But and he did seem to run a touch flat last time, but I think the mile will be just what he's looking for, and I would make him my first choice again in a tough race. With the blinkers on, that Nell horse that you spoke about, Auburn King, to follow him home. But nothing to get it too excited about in this race, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think the blinkers a big factor with Bourbon King. Drawn 11, it is not a very good draw around the bend, but they're still on the summer track, so they do have 600 meters running. So I think we've got a top jockey on board, and I think he probably when he ran second behind Fort Yukon, he was quite up with the pace, and that day was drawn 6 from 6. Today he's drawn 11 out of 11, which is a negative. But I think I think he will hopefully get it in a decent position in the race, and will have a big chance. And I'm not sure. I think Spanish Verse, for me, they're dropping back in trip, and I think might need further.
All right. Excellent. Moving on to race 5. This is the Join the Racecourse Turf Club Maiden Plate. 1,500 meters. Betting is as follows. Spirit of Nickel, 5-2. Burning Desire, 4-1. Red Light Lane, 4-1. Mon Papillon, 6-1. They're betting 7s and bigger the rest. So looking at this race, Andrew, again, a really tricky race. I thought this was Burning Desire of Lucinda was all right. 2 runs back. I fancied her quite strongly on that first run. But sure, slow, bumped, never in the race. I looked like a complete turkey because I told some of my friends I think hard to beat, and it couldn't even run a place. So I was left scratching my head, exactly like what Lucinda was probably doing after the race. And then she came out again and ran 10 lengths south of France, examined normal. So I would be hesitant to be picking this horse in a hurry until we can work out what's wrong with her. But aside from that, and that's the second favourite. So I'm not really too sure which way to lean in this race. So I'd probably say the improver being the Snake horse, Red Light Lane. But you're going to have to shed some light on this race because I'm a little bit confused.
Fair enough. Yeah,
How
I'd
do
like
you
to
see
see
it?
more from Burning Desire. Even though it has plum draw Stallgate 1. Lower weight doesn't help in drawn Stallgate 1. And I'm not sure what happened last time. We've seen that South of France form line, which is quite strong, but I think I'd like to see more improvement from her. Red Line Lane has the apprentice on board for Justin Snape, claiming the 4, Varun Jodi, drawn Solgate 2. She could be the pace in the race, even though she's never got to the front before. Again, I'd like to see more from her. The 6, Kuberger, very interesting. This horse has opened up favourite both starts and has drifted like it has broken a leg on the way to the start. He went from 3-1 on debut to 25-1. He ran a cracking race behind Malibu Blitz. Then he opened up 28-10 and started 16-1 against South of France. He ran in the same race as Burning Desire and finished in front of Burning Desire that day. I don't know. This horse is obviously showing them nothing at home. I mean, it's a stable that doesn't forget to have a strike when they'll fancy. But she's been ice cold both starts, and she's very well beat out of twice over. The two that I thought would fight out the race, I think Spirit of Nicole has the form in the book. The only thing is that her form was at Durbanville. Her best run was behind Lady Orbit at drawn at Durbanville, where she finished third. She was running on that day, staying on. It was over 1,600. We're dropping 100 meters to 1,500. So that, I don't know, that's neither here nor there. But before that, as she ran, she had a bad race behind Log Song. She looked like she was improving. And for her to be fired, another one that I think will drift in the market, and I think has a big chance. But for me, I'd be having an each-way bet on number 4, Mon Popular. For the Reeves Yard, Craig Zaki, I hope he has plenty of runners because I do fancy quite a few of these. Drawn 4, stepping up in trip, this filly out of Master My Fate. She's run over 1,200 twice, behind Call Me Secrets, and then behind Somebody Somewhere. I went back and watched the race. She was slow away, lost 2 lengths. The jockey hit the gate. Obviously, I think he wants to get his revenge on her, and he wants to run a massive race. I can see Mon Popular at a decent price. I think it was about 6-7-1. A nice each-way bet again, and that would be my first pick on Spirit of Nicole. I wasn't sold on Burning Desire and Red Light Lane, even though with a £4 claimer, another one that I wouldn't be getting involved in. And Kuberger, I don't know what they know, but on occasion she does throw in. On her debut, she's been a cracker, but then she disappointed behind South of France. So I'm not sure what's happening with that horse. So for me, I think Mon Papillon each way, and I think it probably has to beat the favourite, Spirit of Nicole, but I think one's not favourite and will drift.
Okay, thanks for that synopsis, Andrew. All right, going on to race 6, which is a Lucky Fish New Fortune Class 5, 1,400 meters. And the betting is as follows. Give That Man a Bells, 5-1. Devil is Saint, 5-1. Cedar Point, 5-1. Kangaroo, 5-1. No point reading the rest. It's all open and bigger than that, those prices. So do you want to take it away, Andrew?
Well, you took it away, but I will. I think a very tricky race, very, very tricky race. Just about betting 6-1 the field. For me, the horse that has the best form at the moment is District Master. Gareth Wright rides for the McLachlan Yard, beat Clankaroo, be man of conscience, and then got beaten by Clankaroo. But I think we've got a decent sort in that horse. Give That Man a Bells. I'm Johnny Walker Black drinker, but some people do like a bells. Lucinda Woodruff trained. He's coming off a 5-month rest. They said something happened. If he's fit and well, I think he will lead. And I think District Master and him probably fight it out up front. But again, a very tentative race for me. The more I look, the more I don't see. Klein Careers in the race. Andrew Fortune back on board as 1/1400. So I'm not sure. And that was, excuse me, at Durbanville. He's never won at Kenilworth, but he's placed 50% of his starts. A very trappy race.
Yeah.
If I was to have a bet, I would be having 2 small bets on Give That Man a Bells and District Master, even though I think Fortune would probably have the pick of the McLachlan Yard. I got it mixed up. He's riding for the McLachlan Yard, and Fortune is riding for the main guard yard. So let me rephrase that. A trappy race again. And I think, for me, 2 small bets. Give that man a bells and District Master. And maybe you can find a winner. Maybe your wisdom will find a winner in this trappy race.
I think well summarized, Henry. Let's we don't want to bore the guys with thumb sucking here. I know folks love thumb sucking, but let's just move along to the next race. The guys can work out what they fancy there. It's basically anybody's guess. So going on to race 7 is the Champagne Stakes, 1,200 meters, grade 3. And we have betting from soccershop.bet. Sardinia Bay, 4-1. The US of A, 5-1. Demanding Day, 5-1. 6-1 Dance Variety, 7s and better the rest. So I won't read out all the betting because if anyone wants to know the price on a particular horse, they can go to soccershop.bet. All right, Andrew, I'll kick off here. 1,200 meters. Hey, we're getting tested with a lot of tricky races, but if I had to pick one, I think this was the US of A. You got to respect from draw 2. They seem to be running up the inside. So Richard will hopefully get the run of the race. Tricky having to come from slightly off them if he gets closed up. But so I'm not 100% sure how he's going to ride it, but he's going to have to tuck it in. But we'll leave that to him. That's why he's the jockey and not me. But my first choice would be the US of A in a very tricky race. Good luck to my friend Robert Bloomberg. I hope it can run well for him. Very, very nice horse. But the opposition is not running with their hands tied. There's a lot of decent horses here. You got to give, I don't even know where to start with. There's a lot of horses with chances here. I mean, Sardinia Bay is a decent horse on his day. Demanding Dave, Dance Variety, She's My World. You can't leave any of them out, but I'll leave that to you. The US of A, my first choice in another tough race.
Okay, probably it is the best race on the day. It's a grade 3 for the sprinters. I fancy a few of these will be running here and then getting on the float for the Durban season. My best bet of the day is in this race. I was well impressed the way Dance Variety won last start. You'll be holding your breath because he'll be finishing. He'll be coming from an impossible position. And the way he won last start, beating Sardinia Bay, I was very impressed. Do you have to have luck in the running? He's a nice price, and I think he'll run a massive, massive race. For me, I'm against you. I don't like the US of A. But I don't think 1,200 is his stroke. I don't think he gets the distance, and I think there are far better 1,200-meter runners in this race. I could be wrong. Been wrong before. Of the rest, Demanding Dave, Andrew Fortune, won 3 in a row on him. Again, another one that'll be flying at the finish. Was behind Dance Variety last start. That was over 1,100. Again, another one, I'm not sure the 1,200 is up. He's only a 3-year-old, carrying 53.5. I take my hat off to Andrew Fortune for getting down to 53.5. And I found a lurker in the race. Lightly raced, only had 7 starts, 2 from 2 over course and distance. And I think the last price I saw was 25-1. Pump it up. Justin Snaith, Plikey's on board, 52.5. Another one. 2 from 2 at the course, you can't knock that. Has run twice in the soft going, which I do believe, I think the Sting will be out the ground for a win. And a third, Dance Variety, my best bet. And I would be having a small each way on number 3, Pump It Up, including in all trifectas and quartets. That's how I see the race. Wasn't a fan of the USA. Demanding Dave, again, I think probably needs further. Sardinia Bay will be there and thereabouts. Has only missed the place once in his 9 starts. And that was behind the USA Bay, funny enough, over 1,100. Another one suspect for the distance. But I think the horse, I make my best bet. There'll be pace, and we'll be looking for those burgundy colours weaving his way through to get us to the front where it matters.
Thanks for that, Andrew. Yeah, excellent. I can respect that. That's definitely a serious runner. So moving on to race 8. Join the social squad. These stakes over 1,200 meters. We've again got another testing race here. Betting supplied by Lance Michael at soccershop.bet. She's got Class 5-1, Chichilian 5-1, October Storm 5-1, Object to Art 6-1, Give It the Lady 6-1. I won't read out the balance of the runners. Aside from my horse that I fancy, Oliver, at 8-1. So do you want to take it away, Andrew?
Interesting race. Another sprint for us. 3 horses ran together. Object to Art, Give It a Lady, and October. It's October. Big down there. October Storm. Right at the bottom, drawn 12 out of 12. Another ride for Sean Veal for the Marshall Yard. The betting, I'm not sure is correct. She's got class favourite. Chichilian, second favourite. I mean, they are betting 5-1 the field, not a race you're going to storm into. Your horse, Oliver, oh, I don't know. It's going to be, please, sir, can I have some more? Is it either more winners or please, sir, can I have another race? This horse has taken 555 days since his last win. I mean, I'm not going to knock you. Not a horse for me, I'm afraid. I would be having an each way bet on the Richard Ferry riding for Lucinda Woodruff, second run gelding, behind Object to Art, carrying a low weight of 54 plus a half. He's putting overweight, 54 and a half. I think it's that kind of a race, not a race to get massively involved in.
Yes.
At 5-1 the field, I'd be having a Give It Laldi, I'd be having an each way bet on that. And I thought the main danger would come from Object to Art.
Yeah, the reason I like this horse, Oliver, Andrew, is I like the fact that he's back at Kenilworth. He's obviously had his last like 4 starts at Durbanville. I don't think that tight track is quite up his alley, but he can gather momentum on his day, this horse. I mean, I know he's getting a bit long in the tooth. Like you said, it's nothing to empty the wallet on, but I think as an each way value bet at like 8-1, 10-1, he'll, and the stable's extremely well at the moment, so I would say he's a decent each way bet. But in saying that, I'm also a little bit confused because Object to Art won with contempt last time, and for a few strides it didn't look like it was going to run a place, and then it won going away like it was thrown in at the 200. So that was pretty impressive, but I still feel that sort of strengthens the fact that the Marcus stable is so well. But I'm leaning towards Oliver as an each way strike.
Favour is the stable that seems banging form. And let's hope they can have a double from with Dance Variety in this.
Yes.
My roughie for the trifectas and the quartets is another horse that's a bit of an enigma. Number 10, Chichilian, coming off a little bit of a rest, ran behind Dance Variety. Hopefully Dance Variety wins and strengthens in form. And I think we could see an improved run from Chichilian, and another one that I include in quartets and trifectas.
All right, brilliant. Thanks, Henry. All right, moving on. Race 9, Hollywood Bets Bright Future Class 4, fillies and mares, 1,200 meters. The betting as follows from Lance Michael at soccershop.bet. Hampstead Heath 5-1, Star World 5-1. Again, a very tough race. Kedaroon Loon 5-1, 6s and bigger the rest. You take it away, Andrew.
Thanks, Hilt. Again, a decent contest, competitive to end the meeting. The betting shows you that it seems to be an open race, Hampstead Heath. I wasn't sold on one of the favourites, ridden by Richard Ferry. I think it's only that price because Richard's riding it at 5-1. I think he should be much bigger. Star World, for me, doesn't like Kenilworth. Even though beating South of France last time at Durbanville, for me, don't like Kenilworth. At 4 starts, hasn't found a place. 2 starts at the distance, hasn't found a place. So I couldn't be liking that horse. The one has every chance, Hampstead Heath, Calvin Habib on board. But last 2 starts has got into trouble in running. Directed out the second last start behind 7-0 Trumps. And again, another one came from an impossible position against Whirlwind, and I think will probably improve. Andrew Fortune rides 7-0 Trumps, has won on him before. The disappointment last time was behind Joe Leckerding. They did run behind, they ran together, Hampstead Heath and 7-0 Trumps, with 7-0 Trumps beating the favourite Hampstead Heath. But I found the lurker here at a massive, I think it was 25 to 1 the last time. Maritzburg Memory. I mean, this horse you think cannot win. The jockey's scrubbing from the start. He's probably lost 70% of the way around the course. And he comes with an absolute flying finish every time. He gets going, and let's hope it's a going day for him, Maritzburg Money. I thought an each-way bet squeaker to end the last in a very, very trappy race. And at 25 to 1, you know you can't get hurt. Has won 3 times over course and distance and 3 places. Does like the wet. All her 3 wins have been in the soft. I'm taking it as a thing out the ground. And that would be my selection in the last 25 to 1. Be holding my breath. I'm going to hold off a dance variety. Hopefully I can breathe after that. And Maritzburg Memory,
Yes.
I remember this horse. You see the yellow colours, the yellow and green diamonds, and it's closing. And let's hope we can get to the front this time.
Yeah, very tough. Well summarized, Andrew. I got to agree with you. I've also found a lurker, but obviously I don't know the well-being of the horse. This horse, Berry's Boogie. I like the fact that she's back in trip, and I like the fact that they're keeping the blinkers on. I would assume a trainer of Andre Nell's caliber, they won't be running the horse if they haven't got it right. And previous run, saddle slipped back, which was a good run, 2 lengths by Delicious. So that would be my cockroach at 20 to 1 to be in the shake-up. So, but I can't give the boys any confidence on anything.
Yeah, again, another one who hasn't won for 506 days, but does have Muzieni on board, and it seems that kind of race. We're looking for outsiders where they're bidding 5-6 to 1 the field. A competitive card for a Monday. Have happy Workers' Day, everybody. May Day in some countries, happy Workers' Day. Look forward to previewing the Fairview card next week. And from my side, be safe, stay safe, and be lucky.
And happy punting. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Andrew.